Good morning. So today we're just floating, as you can see, drowning off the coast of Zadar. So as you can see, it's quite a rocky beach. There's no real sand away from land. As you can see, it's quite rocky. I'll try and swim back over here and put my foot down on something to stop myself drowning. Anyway, so we arrived in Zadar yesterday. Had a quick walk around the old town, seeing what there is to film, and but to be honest, I'll probably film the whole lot in about 15 minutes, so we'll probably go back this evening when the sun's going down. It looks a bit better, and film what there is. The most famous thing, of course, being the sea organ, so we'll show you that, what's there, and there's a few other things as well, and that's about it really. Not a lot to see in Zadar, but I'll show you the best of what I can see. But in the meantime, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. This is a public beach. It's all amongst the woods and trees. It's Saturday morning. It is a Saturday morning, so it is quite busy, and as I say, it is pretty hot still. This good old European heat wave still continues. So until this evening, I'll go now, and I'll come back later on this afternoon when the light's a bit better and I can actually show you what actually is in Zadar, and just that way you can decide if you want to come here. I will say one thing, cruise ships come here, so if you're thinking of coming here on a cruise ship, I'll show you where you dock and all that sort of stuff as well. So it's right annoyingly, right next to the sea organ. But we'll show you that in a bit. Anyway, till then, see you later. Welcome back to Zadar. So as I said this morning, we're floating around in the Adriatic. I've come into the old town, but to get into the old town, we've got to cross this bridge over here. It's called the People's Bridge, built in 1962. Just over 100 metres long and 6 metres wide. Why was it built in 1962? Well, the last one was destroyed in 1944. Why was the last one destroyed in 1944? Well, I'll tell you that when we get into town. So let's have a wander across the bridge and see what it's like. So the current time now is 6:34. Looking this way, we look out to sea. This is where we'll be hopefully looking later on as the sun comes down. So Alfred Hitchcock described the sunset here as the best ever. So hopefully we'll find out whether he's right or not.
What's the name?
So over to the right, you'll see a lot of these ships pulled up. This is the harbour. This is where you can catch a boat to some of the other islands. And then directly in front of me, you'll see one of the gateway entrances into the old town. We're just going to stroll through the gateway and make our way to the town square. Okay, so this is the opening into the old town. What you'll see again is the, like so many of the other areas, the limestone flooring, polished. Many of the buildings also made out of limestone. Typical of this area. This is actually the oldest continually habited city in Croatia, Zadar. It's been inhabited since the 12th century, originally by Romans, but then who settled it, but then later on the Venetians moved in, which is why if you look at a lot of the buildings you'll see aspects of it that look like Venetian architecture. Now just up here is the square. I'll start filming again when we get there and just tell you a little bit more about Zadar. So we've now reached the square. So this is the People's Square as it used to be, and directly behind me over here is the town hall, or the reproduction of the town hall. Because nearly everything you see as you walk around Zadar is a reproduction. Why is that? Well, between 1943 and 1944, the Allies / Americans carpet bombed this place continuously for 10 months. 80% of the buildings on Zadar were destroyed. Anywhere between 1,000 and 4,000 people were killed. Why was that? It was an Italian stronghold during the Second World War. I'm not too sure of the significance of what it actually was for, or why the Italians were held here. Maybe you can go away and look that one up. But yeah, so everywhere you look around, you see many buildings, and you can see they've just been rebuilt. And then in many places, the buildings are quite ugly. So you see some nice buildings, and as you wander around, it's quite like thrown up as quick as they can for accommodation type buildings. Let's have a wander around and see a bit more. We're going to wander down this street behind me. We'll head towards the Roman Forum. We'll head towards the cathedral. And we'll also head towards the sea organ, which this place is probably most famous for. So an example of some of the more modern buildings you get down here as you walk along this precinct. So behind me you see the bell tower of the largest cathedral on the Dalmatian coast. It's the Cathedral of St. Anastasia. Not something I'm familiar with, but you also see, I'll turn the camera around slightly, how it's been recreated and rebuilt large parts of it. So we'll try and move us out of the sun. I'll show you something else while I'm here. So normally all down this alleyway there was all ladies making lace. And then if we turn to the side, behind me you'll see an archaeology museum. And then also to the side over here is what they call the Roman Forum. Let's go and have a look. So this is just one of two Roman remains which actually are on Zadar. This one here, we can see it's laid out as the houses where people may have lived and various columns. Then when we walk further around, we'll see another one where they've just, basically what they've dug up, they've just laid out in nice neat rows and columns. So if you're into a bit of Roman architecture, there's a little bit here, or archaeology should we say. There's a bit here to see as well, but not a lot. Let's walk round to the other side and see the rest of it. So all this building on our left hand side as we walk along is the cathedral. So it's a pretty big building. Once again built in the 12th century by Venetians. Okay, so in the square, it's a popular spot. And there's obviously some sort of celebration going on here in the square. Let's go and have a look. So obviously we'll see the entrance to the cathedral. So I'm not sure what's going on or why.
In this city, we don't have our own marches. Only that we have to do
So I'll be guessing it's a wedding that's taking place. But I'm guessing by the flags it's an American and a Croatian who got married. But who knows? So as we carry on down the street, we come to the Church of Our Lady of Health. So we've literally just done a walk from the People's Bridge. We turn right and we've just literally walked straight down one road. So we've seen a bit of a Roman Forum, we've seen the cathedral, we've seen the town square, we've seen the church at the end. The next step is to go down here and head towards the river. So you can make your way down to the river, as they say out here. I think I've told you that one before. And this is the water's edge. Bit of a concrete broadwalk. So much so that a few years ago they did actually decide that it's pretty ugly. It's just all concrete, it didn't look particularly nice. Much of the apartment blocks along the side aren't the most attractive. Hence they came up with the idea, or architect came up with the idea of a sea organ. Now it's an experimental musical instrument. It's operated by the waves. The waves push air through plastic pipes, which then acts as an organ, and so it plays a melodic but not particularly tuneful tune. We're just approaching that now. And you can see where it is. You can see where it is straight away, to be honest, because by the crowds of people that come up ahead. But when we get there, I'll sit you down and you can listen to the sea organ with me. As long as everyone's not talking. I did come here yesterday, and everyone was sitting on the steps, supposedly listening to the sea organ, chattering away. Nicely in German, I hasten to add. But anyway, let's go and have a look. So that's the sea organ, and right next to the sea organ is another larger art installation. It's put here in 2008. This was a solar installation, so I'm actually standing on a lot of solar panels. Just put your camera down. Now what these solar panels actually represent is the sun, because then when we walk away from the sun, I'm not sure if you can actually see it yet, but what you actually get to see as we walk along, as long as these people don't get in front of me, here we go, is the rest of the solar system. So as we walk out, we have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, and so forth. All the way, and as we keep going out, we'll keep walking backwards. We get to the north. We've got Jupiter. I'm not too sure we actually get them all. But of course, after Jupiter, we have Uranus. And there's one more. Can you remember which one it is? So you can see it's quite a distance. When you suddenly work out how far and how big the solar system is, it's huge. So of course we come to our final one. Yeah. I take it it's supposed to say Uranus, but it's not quite how it's spelt. But anyway, so from here, back roughly towards where the whole crowd of people are. That's our solar system. And all the solar lights are to scale, I believe. So hopefully I'll come back here after dark and see what it looks like lit up. So that's the sunset over Zadar. I'm about to go and find something to eat now and come back when it's dark. By then the solar system should have lit up on the ground. You can see what that looks like. I've been told it doesn't always happen. Sometimes it doesn't because it's broken, unfortunately, but hopefully it will be working tonight. So we'll go and have a look at that in a bit. Until then, I'll catch you later. So when I was walking around earlier, I did promise to find a Roman Forum, and here's the here it all is. As you can see, it's all just mostly laid out. So it's quite interesting though, if you like Roman architecture. There's plenty here, bits of pillars and stones and remains of the buildings that were once here. Right, anyway, back in search of dinner. So now having eaten and admittedly having a couple of beers, it's time to go and look for the solar display. All around me it's all quite busy again. It's turned into one of those types of market type places which you find when on holiday. They still managed to light up some areas though. So you've got the little church lit up, and in front of me there's a bit of a market going on, so we're just going to wander through the market, get back to the riverside, and then go and see what's happened with the solar display. Let's see if it's actually working. It'd be good if it is. So as you can see, the Riva's just as busy during the evening. I mean, it's now 10 past 10 is what it is during the day. So we found Uranus. Sorry, I lied. That was Neptune. Now I found Uranus. And as we walk along, next we find Saturn, minus its rings. This is followed, of course, by Jupiter. Much smaller, we have Mars. Then we have Earth, a small Venus, eventually Mercury, and then of course we look up and across all of us we see the Sun. And finally the Sun lights up for us. As you can see, it's quite popular. There's quite a lot of people here. Just wander down, see how bright it is. So this is the final thing really to see in Zadar. Okay, so this is me and Zadar signing out. Next trip is off to Plitvice Lakes, and that's where we'll see you next. Stay safe and have a good time. See you later. Bye.